Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Blame It On Ryan, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the Nyxi Hyperion 3 for the Nintendo Switch 2. So these are some of the first available kind of Joy-Con replacements that you can get for the Nintendo Switch 2. So in today's video, we're just going to do an unboxing so you can kind of see what comes with it, and then we'll just do kind of a quick first impressions video, not a review by any means. So just kind of my first impressions using it for the first time. And so if this is your first time on the channel, hey, please consider subscribing if you like the content. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below if you're thinking about picking one of these up, or if you have a question about it and you want to get some more information about it, drop those down below as well, because I'll probably do a follow-up review on it, and I can gather up all those questions and answer them for you in one video. But without further ado, let's take a look at the Nyxi Hyperion controller. Okay, so you can see their website here. So they're selling it for $169 is the regular price on there. It has a little slash through it and says $126. But there's also a coupon code out there, and after the coupon code, it comes out to about like 89 bucks. I think I got it a while ago for even cheaper. So this is a little bit expensive, even at $90, I think. But you can see some of the features, the Hall effect, the turbo mode, the adjustable vibration, back buttons, the 9-axis gyro. So it does come with a lot of different features if you're into that sort of thing. Hall effect, joysticks, and bigger keys than the standard Joy-Con. So that was just a quick look at the kind of features and overview. Here's the box itself, just standard normal little cardboard box here. Kind of on the back, you've got all of your, sort of features and specifications, all that kind of stuff. If you are into that sort of thing and you want to look at all those details, feel free to pause the video and check that out. But we're going to go ahead and open this sucker up here real quick. And, immediately you're kind of greeted with some Nyxi marketing stuff here. And it's kind of cool. Nobody really cares about that stuff, but I kind of like to see, like, a brand like this I've never bought before. I kind of like to see what they're all about, what they want to show, kind of front and center. The booklet there, you do want to hang on to that booklet, because that's going to tell you how to adjust the vibration, how to do the turbo modes and all that kind of stuff if you're wanting to do those things. And the vibration, I'm just going to be honest, I'm probably going to turn it off, as you'll see throughout this video here. And you do have a swappable D-pad, so that's nice. You can use the faceted one, which I prefer, at least from my early testing here. Versus just the standard, cross style. So here is the little package here. We're going to take this off, and it does come with a nice charging binder, thing that you put the Joy-Cons on each side. So if you want to use your Switch docked and still use these controllers, if you don't have a Pro controller or something like that, maybe this is going to be your Pro controller. So you can use it like a standard regular controller there. And it does feel good, feels fine. As you saw the wobble there, it's not like the most, it's just like on any Joy-Cons on the Switch itself, there is some give. It's just kind of the way that they're designed. And, but when you're holding it, it's not an issue. You can see really grippy, back texture and some nice back buttons, which are customizable. Well, again, you'll want to look in that booklet. It's going to tell you how to customize the different buttons, your macro buttons, whatever. And all the buttons are extra super clicky. So like every single button on here is very clicky. And so we're going to go ahead and slide that out of the way here. We do have our Switch 2. So I'm going to go ahead, and there you can see, just like the standard Joy-Con, same color matching. Everything kind of looks the same. So these look really good. Just snaps right on. And I didn't have to do anything. They just connected automatically, so the Switch 2 recognizes them perfectly, so there's nothing additional that you needed to do there. And so there you have it. They connect just like your standard Joy-Cons, and right immediately work right away. The D-pad, initial impressions on that, I think that feels really good, super clicky. The joysticks, at first blush here, they do feel nice and smooth. And again, all of the buttons are sort of very clicky, including they're kind of all like, let's just go ahead and test out some Cyberpunk here real quick. I'm just going to kind of test out the sticks and see how, they feel right off the bat. And I'm kind of feeling a little bit like they have a really large dead zone. So that's what I'm just going to kind of play around with here, is just kind of messing around with more subtle movements to see if it's you know, if it needs to be adjusted or something like that. And I think as you'll see here in just a few minutes, as I'm just messing around, just killing random people in Cyberpunk, that it does, the dead zones are very large. So like you can move the stick quite a bit before anything happens. Again, I'm just testing out the D-pad here and the buttons. And as far as the buttons go, they all feel pretty much the same, super clicky, but the A button, for some reason, for me, feels a little bit mushier for some reason. Like, it's still clicky, but it's the travel on it is a little bit different than the other three, so I don't know if that's a manufacturing defect or anything here. Here you can see me again, I'm playing with the sticks, and I'm going to start to get into some real subtle movement to see you know, how much you have to move the stick before you have any movement on screen, because it didn't feel right to me exactly. So I'm just kind of playing with the more subtle movement here, and I do feel like these have really large dead zones, so like you really have to start moving the stick before anything happens. And I really, that's a preference thing. I prefer, I like really micro adjustment, you know, movements, especially for aiming and things like that. So I want, as soon as I start moving that at all, I want that movement to start. So you can see here, I'm moving that stick, and it was quite a while before we saw the movement on screen there. Same thing with the left and the right. I mean, it's really just not moving. It takes a lot for it to move. So I'm going to go ahead and play around on another game here real quick as well. And then I'm going to show you what I did to try to fix the sticks right off the bat. Now, I don't know, there may be firmware upgrades and stuff like that. I have not hooked this up to a computer or anything like that. So, you know, maybe those things have been fixed with a firmware update. Haven't done any of that. Again, this is just out of the box and just doing, you know, quick testing. So here you got just an up-close look at how this looks on it. Again, I do have that D-brand case still there on the top and bottom, but, you know, you can refer back here. I'll actually cut it into the video right here where you can see it without that D-brand case on it, in case you're wondering how that looks. Here is what it looks like. I took the case off, so you can kind of see it right there. This is how it looks. And then on the back side, I do still have the little additional kickstand cover thing on, but you can kind of get a good idea of what this looks like in terms of, you know, holding it and how it, you know, like on the screen here, they come up a little bit. So it's not like flush with the front. It's flush with the top and bottom, but not with the front of the screen. So, you know, if that's any kind of concern for you, or if you don't like the way that looks or whatever, did want to show that so you guys could see what it actually does look like. But here we are playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I don't know if it came across on screen, but those vibrations are so loud, man. And it's not HD rumble, it's just a standard rumble. So at this price point, just out of the box, I gotta tell you, it's really disappointing for it to not have HD rumble. And then the rumble it does have, I mean, it's incredible. It's obnoxiously loud, even on the low volume. I'm not sure why they think that this is acceptable. You know, and I really haven't bought tons of third-party controllers, you know, for the Switch or Switch 2. So these were kind of the first ones I've really tried. I don't know if that's normal for these or not, but I think it kind of sucks. So to be honest with you, if I'm going to end up keeping these or use these, then I'm probably going to turn the vibration off, because it really is that annoying. Like, I play handheld a lot, like in bed or something like that. And if I'm using this, like, my wife is not going to be having it. She's going to be like, what is that? She's like, turn that off, you know. To my wife's credit, she probably wouldn't have a problem with it at all. But it is annoying, and I'm not trying to annoy her. But here you can see I went into the menu to do the calibrate sticks on the, you know, the Switch 2 menu. So this is the actual native built-in Switch settings to do your calibration. So I went through this process, and I do feel like it did help, as you'll see here in a minute. So if you've never done that before, even if you're having problems with your regular Joy-Cons, you can go in and do a calibration on each of your two sticks individually. I went through and I did the calibration here for both of them. So super easy to do if you've never done that before. Just go down to the settings, and I believe it's in the controller settings, and you'll find it in there. So We're just going through this little calibration process here, and then we're going to test out. We're going to jump back into Cyberpunk just to see if that improved things at all for us here. And, just it takes a minute to do this, so I definitely recommend doing this. If this ends up working, we'll find out. And I do feel like immediately that it does feel better. I'm getting movement a little bit quicker. Everything feels just a little bit more responsive, so it feels like maybe those dead zones kind of have been recalibrated out, because I'm able to do, like, the movement just, it feels a little snappier, feels a little bit better. So now I think we're going to get, maybe some of those micro movements, like when you're moving the stick just a little bit. I think it is going to be responsive now. And so here we are, just random, doing some just random shooting here in Cyberpunk just to kind of test that out. Let's try that micro adjustment. There's still a dead zone there, and it is, but it seems like the calibration helped a little bit, but there is still seems to be like there is a dead zone there, which is still bigger than I prefer. So I wonder if they've done a firmware update. That's something I'll have to look into. If you know about that, or if you maybe bought these, or you're anticipating getting these pretty soon, and you already know if they've updated or whatever, feel free to drop that in the comments below. But as of right now, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. That would be more of a review type of a thing. But generally speaking, I think it is pretty comfortable. Just like a lot of other mobile controllers, everybody's just kind of afraid to make them wider for some reason. But I would prefer them wider and be able to have that right stick a little bit higher. But generally speaking, pretty comfortable, I would say, overall. All right, guys, that's it for the video today. So if you have any questions about the video or this product, or just have any comments or anything like that, feel free to drop those in the comments below. If you like this video, you like the content that I do here, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And as always, like the video. And hey, we will see you in the next one.